Hello friends, this is Viraj and I welcome you all to this session in which what we will be doing is we will understand how a particular concept is used by UPSC in a question, and what we will do from it is we will understand the approach. We'll understand the approach of answering a particular concept and also taking into consideration how concepts from a particular part of syllabus in UPSC have to be answered in totality. All right. So we will take a concept, we'll take up a concept from syllabus, understand how UPSC utilizes it while making question. We will understand what the approach of UPSC is while converting a concept into the question. What should be our approach with respect to answering that question? Not only that question, but as a whole, how a particular concept, how concepts from a particular subject could be utilized for answering the question. All right, that is what is the goal of this particular session. So today we are dealing with Indian polity. All right, we are dealing with the subject of Indian polity. If you take into consideration the subjects of UPSC, what do we see is basically there are three types of subjects. First, you can say are those subjects in which book learning, all right, or static syllabus is more than contemporary issues. It is not as if contemporary issues are not asked in this particular subject, but more emphasis is on static syllabus. Which are those subjects? You can say culture, you can say history, you can say to a certain extent ethics. All right. On the other hand, there are subjects which are more contemporary issue based or focus more on current affairs and not that much on static syllabus. Again, it is not so कि static syllabus में से यहाँ से questions नहीं आते. All right, but more focus is on contemporary issues. Which are those subjects? You can say internal security, you can say international relations, and then there are those subjects which are sandwiched in between. So in this subject, you need a good hold over static syllabus also and contemporary issues also. Polity is one of those subjects. If I may say one more, if I may give another example, then there is Indian economy. All right. So polity is one of those subjects where you need to understand a concept very well and then you have to connect it with the current affairs. All right. And we will see in this question how that happens, how UPSC designs its questions. All right. So chalo pehle dekhte hain. Let us get into the question. This question was asked in the year 2016. All right. This question relates to preamble, and preamble, mind you, is the mine of concepts. Out of the whole subject of Indian polity, jitne bhi concept hai na, 7 to 8 concepts are in preamble itself. Preamble, the term preamble itself is also a concept. Let us get into that some other time. Now let us look. Now we should focus on this question. Dekhte hain is question ko. Okay, what does this question need you to know? Discuss each adjective attached to the word republic in the preamble. Republic. Adjectives attached to the word republic in preamble. Are they defendable in the present circumstances? So what they have done, what UPSC has done, very intelligently, it has now asked you to relate 5 concepts, not 1, not 2, but basically 5 concepts with current affairs. So this was what I was talking about. Okay? So you, in this particular question, while writing answer to this particular question, what you need to do is, you should be able to name the concepts. You should be able to name the concepts. You should be able to showcase importance of these concepts in the preamble, and as preamble in a way is, or preamble is the introduction to constitution, you should be able to relate these concepts to the larger part of the constitution. Next, what you should be also able to do, and which is the prime focus of this answer, is you have to merge them with your understanding of current affairs. With your understanding of current affairs. Let us now get into what those concepts are. Okay, let us now get into what those concepts are. Related to republic or adjectives attached to republic. That means you have to talk about 4 other nature that Indian state has to embody. 4 other characteristics that Indian state has to embody other than republic. Republic का explanation भी करना होगा. You have to explain republic also, but you have to show to the examiner कि भाई republic you have mentioned in the question. Other than that, the 4 other concepts that you are trying to ask me about, I know about them. So which are they? First is sovereign, second is socialist, third is secular, fourth is democratic, and last is republic. यही है ना? These are the adjectives ना that are associated, that these are the adjectives na that are mentioned in the preamble and also attached to republic. All right, so you have to mention about this 4, rather not 4 but 5 concepts. All right, you have to talk about this 5 concepts. All right, and this will be the primary foundation of your answer. Describing the concept will be the primary foundation of your answer. Later on, what you have to do is, as I told you, connect it to current affairs. How to do that? Chalo, let's get into the answer. क्या आंसर लिखेंगे हम लोग? Let's get into it. First and foremost, when you consider writing on a concept, first understand what are the key terms or what is the directive word. Key terms nahi, directive words. Key terms we have seen. Let us go back to key terms. एक झलक लेते हैं फिर से. With respect to the key terms, what are the key terms? Adjective attached, we have seen what are they. Attached to republic, yes, we have seen what are the adjectives attached to republic. Preamble, we know what preamble is, we'll discuss it in the answer. Then what also they want you to do is present circumstances. So these are the pre-terms, these are the key terms in the question. What is the directive word? Directive word matlab where the question wants you to go. All right, the question wants you to discuss. The question wants you to discuss. Discuss का मतलब है provide information related to the questions asked. When the directive word, all right, is discussed, that means you have to display the facts related to those concepts or facts related to terms in question. There is another key term and that is R. R का मतलब है, now you go and analyze whether these particular key terms are relevant even today or not. These particular concepts are relevant in today's India or not. So there are 2 directive words over here. All right, first is discuss, other is R. Discuss में what we have to do? We have to showcase the factual information related to concept. In R, मतलब ये जब पूछा है, are they defendable? That means the examiner is asking you to analyze. All right, the examiner is asking you to analyze. That means you have to go further from factual information and tell the examiner what you think with respect to this concept being relevant today or not. All right, ये सब information जरूरी है. You have to find, when you look at the question, you have to find the key terms, you have to find the directive terms. This is the first exercise that you have to do once you get the question paper. All right, so key terms we have seen, directive terms also we have seen. Now let us go to the actual answer. What I will do over here, when a concept has to be answered, I will first and foremost define the concept. All right, but because the core of the question itself is here, is definition of the concept. I will not define it in the introduction, and you should also not define it in the introduction. All right, what we have to do, and such type of questions UPSC will ask you to test first and foremost your knowledge base, and second is your organizational strength. How can you organize the answer? How can you structure the answer? UPSC also looks into this. So if such type of question is asked and such type of questions are asked, so what you have to do is, जहां पे ये जमावड़ा है ना कॉन्सेप्ट्स का, ठीक है, the place from where, the location from where the question has been attached or the question has been taken, you have to first and foremost define that location in the constitution. See, if I had to write this answer before explaining the concepts in the preamble, in the introduction I will talk about preamble, because preamble in any way is a very important header in the constitution and also in the syllabus. In syllabus directly you will not see the mention of preamble. What you will see? Significant provisions. The first topic of paper 2 is Indian Constitution, and in Indian Constitution the subheader is significant provision. Preamble is one of the significant provisions. All right, ये question वहां से आया है syllabus में से. So you see they have taken up a particular header in the subheader in the syllabus connected to concept. So, and because there are more than one concepts which are to be the focus of this answer, what we have to do is we have to first define the location from which the concepts have come. So I will define the preamble. In the introduction, what I will write about the preamble? I will write that preamble is the introduction to the constitution. It gives the glimpse to the constitution. All right, it gives the glimpse to the constitution. It is utilized, it can be utilized or it is utilized by the courts for the purpose of understanding, a particular provision if there is any ambiguity. If there is any ambiguity with respect to that provision. All right. The second line or the third line will be now my connecting line. देखो, I have emphasized on connecting line very much in answer writing sessions. Why do I do it? Because connecting line will act as a bridge between your introduction and your main body of the answer. And once that happens, what will happen is, what will it turn into? It will make your answer, or it will give your reader a sense of continuity. All right, and this sense of continuity is very important as it eases the transition of a reader from introduction to mains, and it makes the task easy for the reader to go through the whole answer. So what will be my connecting sentence? My connecting sentence will be preamble inter alia states the nature of, or provides for the nature of Indian state. That is how Indian state would be. How Indian state will be. All right, and then come to the main body. Dekho, this is 10 markers, so you don't need to emphasize that much. All right, what should therefore I take into consideration now, or what should I start with the main body? I should start with the terms or the adjectives that showcase nature of Indian state along with the term republic. All right, along with the term republic, and then go for those 4 terms. Define those 4 terms. All right, define those 4 terms and then talk about their contemporary relevance. So what I will do? First, I will mention about sovereignty. I will mention what sovereignty is. What is sovereignty? Sovereignty is supremacy in decision making. Alright, it is supremacy in decision making with respect to both internal and external decisions. Alright, I will explain that particular concept in 1 or 2 lines. Then I will state that India retains its supremacy or sovereignty. India retains its supremacy or sovereignty with respect to its internal as well as external affairs. Then showcase an example from contemporary times to prove this. What I will do is, I will use the example of India buying oil from Russia. Even if this was considered to be against what US wanted us to do. Alright. Then I will come to the next concept. I will talk about socialist. In this particular concept, I will explain how Indian socialism is about avoiding. Don't go into details now. You will not get efforts and marks should match. Alright, so don't get into details. What is Indian socialism about? Indian socialism is about avoiding concentration of wealth. In the hands of few individuals and equality of opportunities, providing equality of opportunities. Alright. In this, obviously you will write how we have evolved in our conception of socialism. We are socialist, but our conception has evolved and this liberty is given to us by our constitution. The way in which a particular term is defined or understood, a way in which a particular term in the constitution is defined or understood, it will change according to time, and our founding fathers knew about it and our founding fathers appreciated it. Alright, appreciated it. So our understanding of socialist adjective has also evolved. Socialist adjective has not died. The way we see socialist adjective has been now changed. First, government was considered to be an important player in the market, thereby maintaining economic equality, or it tried to maintain economic equality. Now what government has become? It has not become, it is now not a player in the market, but it is regulator of the market. Alright. Not even regulator, it is facilitator of the market. If someone wants to come and do business in India, what government will do? It will facilitate. It will facilitate the person to do business in India. Thereby leading to job creation, thereby leading to corporate tax being incurred or taken, and then that money being used for welfare purposes. Alright. So you have to show how a particular concept has not died down. What it has done is, in contemporary times, its meaning has changed. Its meaning has changed. Alright. Secular again. Define secularism from Indian point of view, that is, maintain equidistance from all religion, and protect all religions. Has this changed? No, not at all. Alright. Government of India is still obliged by the constitution to protect the people of all religions and maintain equidistance from all religions. Alright. Then we come to the concept of democratic. Explain the concept of democracy. That is, people deciding the fate of the country. Or representatives of people carrying on the administration of the country on behalf of them. Alright. Now what we have done is we have also showcased the meaning of yet another term. And what here we can do is, in democratic, we can in fact show how democratic adjective or democratic nature of Indian state has actually widened. How? Through PRIs, that is Panchayati Raj institutions. So not only democratic adjective or nature of Indian state has remained, but it has been enlarged. The understanding of it has been enlarged. Alright, the understanding of it has been enlarged. Alright, decision making, which we consider in the four corners of democracy, if we take into consideration today's time, it is also not confined to government. What do we see is civil society getting in. You can write about that. Ki bhai, democracy or democratic structure of Indian state now does not confine itself to the organs of the government. It has gone beyond. Alright, it has gone beyond. And now because we are explaining the terms, so attached with republic, what we will also do is, or what we should also do is, take into consideration republic. Explain this particular term. What is republic? Republic is a country where elected head of state is elected. Where head of state is elected. India continues this tradition. Alright, India continues this tradition. President of India, देखो अपना रिपब्लिक, अगेन here you have to state in the answer itself कि the Republic of India, the idea of Republic of India is its own. Alright, our president, even if he is the head of state, he acts according to the advice of Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. Alright, so in that way, the term republic or it getting perished, republican structure getting perished has in no way occurred. And because there has not been an emergency of sorts, emergency, I don't mean constitutional emergencies that are mentioned in the constitution. In that way, because there has not been a need of president exerting his or her powers, what we see is the dimension of the term republic and its impact on Indian state has remained the same. It has not decreased or it has not increased. It has remained the same. So in this way what we have done is we have explained the concept, and what we have also done is we have shown their contemporary relevance. So we have stuck together the static part of the syllabus with current affairs. Now if we consider preamble itself, so what other questions can you expect from this part? Alright, the way in which we have seen delivery of answer to the question on concepts from preamble, what other questions can we expect based on these questions? So what other questions can be formed around the concepts mentioned in preamble? These are not the only concepts mentioned in preamble, there are others also. So what I will do is I will apply the same trick on which this question was based to study preamble further. So now if I have to study preamble, I will take this question as a base, right? And on what questions can be asked? So nature of Indian state wala concepts we have seen through this particular question, adjectives. Okay. Now I will go towards goal of Indian state. Goal of Indian state. What goal does the preamble say that Indian state has to achieve? So there are few goals, right? There is the goal of equality. There is the goal of justice. There is the goal of fraternity. and then there is the goal of liberty. All right, so these are the four goals. These are the four goals that Indian state has to achieve for various purposes, for unity of India, for brotherhood, okay, for the purpose of achieving achieving prosperity and all those things. Plus, I would also consider how important preamble itself is. Preamble itself is in the present context. So this can be two more questions that can be formed on preamble or on the concepts or preamble. I have listed down one particular probable question. Let us discuss that. Okay, let us discuss this briefly, very briefly. Discuss the contemporary relevance of various goals mentioned in the preamble. So what I will do here, the goals that we mentioned, for example, equality. What I will do is, in this particular answer, I will explain first what equality is, what type of equality does Indian Constitution try to achieve, and how that particular concept which was taught by our founding fathers in 1950, how it is relevant today. So I will showcase how equality, which as a concept was introduced in our constitution in 1950, how do we look at it today, how relevant it is today. So what I will do over it there, I will talk about the policies of reservation, I will talk about the policies of scholarships, I will talk about the policies of how in India equality of opportunities is tried to be achieved. The same will go with other concepts. All right, now what has happened is you are able to connect what you have read with the way in which question is asked. So what will happen is your mind will be able to grasp those points in your book which are important from examination point of view. All right, ठीक है, चलो, thank you so much for being part of this discussion. All right, we'll meet soon and we'll discuss few more concepts and see how UPSC utilizes them for the purpose of asking question and what your approach should be to those questions. Bye. Thank you.